presents filled with joy, and my grandma wearing the floral dress we sent her from America. Someone grabs my arm and I'm crushed against my uncle's chest. I hug and kiss everyone. Before I know it, I'm sitting in a living room, sipping tea with my relatives crowded around me. Visiting Iran has always been one of the best parts of every year. Visiting the local bakery, renewing conversations from past years, and sightseeing at the famous Persepolis and Alborz mountains. The streets are alive with traditional music, and spontaneous soccer games fill every alley. Somehow, the ordinary becomes extraordinary, and I feel at home. But this year, I watched my Iran from afar. The video spreads across the internet and invaded every television. It rocks back and forth until it finally settles on Neda's face. We hear a man's voice begging, "Neda, don't be scared!" She lies on the pavement while people gather around her. A man puts his hands together and pumps at her chest. She seems to be okay. Then slowly, her eyes roll back. Blood flows from her nose, then mouth, and finally from her eyes. People scatter in fear, hoping God would listen to their screams and end the bloodshed. "Neda, don't be scared!" It's too late. In a split second, Neda Sultan became the icon of the uprisings and protests that started in the summer of 2009. 30 years after the Islamic Revolution, the people of Iran gathered together to reform the government. But the results only bring death and brutality. The streets are filled with people, and green, the color of change, decorates the nation. Neda was just one individual standing in the crowd, hoping her people's desires would be heard. She did not take part in any riot. All she wanted was a voice. As she walked peacefully through the crowd, the sniper pinpointed her and took her voice and life away. I just couldn't make it through the day. I try to forget the images, hoping just to remember the Iran I once loved. But just 10 months after I walked, laughing through the streets of Tehran, Neda died in those very streets. How could I remember the joyous memories when I'm overshadowed by Neda's blood-spattered face? I tried to call my family, but the phone lines were disabled. I tried to email them, but my messages went unanswered. Hearing my grandmother weep through the night was the worst part. Every night after her namaz prayer, she would sit on her prayer rug and speak to God. Khuda, please help my people. They have done nothing to deserve this. Please protect my family. They have done no harm. And before she could finish, tears filled her eyes and her voice went weak. When the images first appeared, my heart quickly went out to those I loved, but slowly it turned to pride. As a young Iranian American, I felt inspired to see the people from my generation stand up to the injustices created by politicians. My Iran is changing. 27-year-old Neda was murdered with her eyes wide open. It is clear to me that I cannot sit complacently with my eyes closed to the injustices around. I will stand up for Neda's dream with my eyes open too. In Farsi, Neda's name means voice. Neda is calling us to keep her voice alive. Thank you.
I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident that all men are created equal. But one day we live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. Let freedom reign from the